Happy Saturday, friends. This is the first time. Let's see, I'm trying to get this lighting and everything working right because I'm actually going live in both places. For those that heard, I started a booktube and this is kind of weird. All right, it's a little cloudy, but hopefully it's fairly clear to you when you see me. But it's just Saturday morning chats, right? Very casual. Let me know if you like these because then we'll keep going with them. Or I might just be here anyway in my comfy. This is how you're gonna get me. I'm gonna be in a comfy because I love this thing. And I have also featured a lot of things that I loved attire wise during COVID and have stuck with me, including my comfy, my favorite leggings, etc. So if you want that information, let me know. But we're here to talk books, right? Last week, I talked about the Ravenhood trilogy and how much I loved it, how much it broke my heart and put it back together again, and everything in between, and how I keep thinking about it. Even yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I woke up crying, just thinking about and mourning for them, and also the fact that they wouldn't be in the places they were if they hadn't gone through all those things. Anyway, if you know and read the Ravenhood trilogy, it is one that just sticks with you for a long time, despite making you sob, despite all the roller coaster of emotions that you go through. It is definitely one to read. Highly, highly recommend. Just make sure you're ready for all the spice because there is a lot of spice, but so good. So, what did I read this week to get over and recover from that? I needed obviously lighter reading, and my voice is going weird. And I didn't bring my tea with me. Okay, well, we're going to do this. So, what did I read this week? I read and attempted to read a few different books, and I am trying to do this thing where I don't just binge on fiction books because I used to read a lot more nonfiction. And so I'm trying to bring back more of the personal growth, all of that mixed in so that I'm not just binging fiction books, which nothing wrong with that, but just saying that is what I'm doing for myself. And the first one that I read was Megan Quinn. I just needed a little light, funny, good male bantery friends romance read, and Megan Quinn hit that spot. This was gifted to me by the lovely Tiffany. She was so sweet because she initially gifted me the first Vancouver Agitators book that I read. And this is another part of that series. They all stand alone, so you don't have to read the other ones, but you have more context when you read the other ones that are other parts of the characters. So, different characters on the Vancouver Agitators hockey team and their stories of finding love and romance. And so it hit the spot. It was much lighter. It still made me cry, but nothing on the scale of the Ravenhood series because, like I said, that just tore me apart. But this one, there's still like emotions, baggage that people come with into relationships, all of that, right? So I teared up at the end, but almost made it full way through. I am a crier. If you don't know me, I am a crier with all kinds of things. So this, those three little words, funny, cute, loved it. Still a big fan of the Vancouver Agitator series. I've read almost all of the Kane brother ones. This is also on my list. This one came from the library. I'm a big fan of the library. If you are not following me on my new booktube, I'm going to have a lot more longer content. I guess TikTok does more longer content too. So we'll figure out what is going to happen there. But I'm going to do more of longer discussions. The first one that I am preparing is a kid book recommendation series. So if you have kids, either of your own or kids that you love and care for, and you want them to have books that are fun, great, learning, all that kind of stuff, go follow me on my booktube. It's called Amy Ann's Reads also. So should be easy to remember. If you want the link, just comment or message me and I'll be sure to get you that. It's also linked in my bio for TikTok. And if you're joining me on YouTube, then you're already there. So it doesn't really matter, right? But anyway, big fan of the library. I am going to bring all the tips as well of the apps that I use to get the most out of reading without spending a boatload on a library because this is this set of book talk where I don't have the fancy library, beautiful library behind me of all the books that are displayed pretty. I'm just not a fan of having a ton of stuff, despite what my kids have and what we keep telling them to organize. But anyway, um, we love the library. We love the Everend app. We love the Libby app. We love all kinds of apps in which we can access books, and that'll be coming in future conversations. But alas, this one I read, this one I have not. The kids keep staring at so I have a stack. I shared this before. This was my stack of books from the library that I have to get through. And the kids said, "Wait, aren't you reading that?" And I said, "I read a few audiobooks this week and a physical book." So um, I will get there. I was going to read The Unhoneymooners, and then I switched to Megan Quinn. So maybe The Unhoneymooners are next. You all can help me figure out what I want to read. And hello, thank you for saying hi, Jason. I'm finally seeing comments. I had issues with seeing comments before, so I appreciate you saying hi and helping me with my comment stuff. Okay, what else did I read? So this one was great. And then the next one was an audiobook because all the stuff I mentioned Libby. So stuff from the library is coming at me in audiobook form. I'm a huge fan of audiobooks. It just helps me get through stuff a lot faster, especially as a working mom, because of commute, because of chores, because of errands, whatever. Remarkably beautiful, wait, remarkably bright creatures. Um, I know it was on a bestseller list, and I just had not really looked at it before, but a friend recommended it. Several friends recommended it. And so I read it and I loved it. And if you don't know what it is about an octopus, a giant octopus, who is a remarkably bright creature. So it's an octopus in the aquarium, and his relationship with the older cleaning lady who is the main character, one of the main characters anyway, and she has some mystery of the past where her teenage son disappeared, and she still needs closure around what happened because it she just never found out. And that grief lives with her. And so this is a story of their intertwining and finding out and revealing of the mysteries of the past. And it is beautiful. It is funny. Um, I liked it way more than I expected, and I didn't know what to expect. So it was fantastic. You should read it. It is one that did not make me cry. Surprise, surprise, because almost everything makes me cry. But it was a beautiful story of well, love in different capacities, caring for others, and yeah, getting closure, working past hardships of life. How little actions can really change another person's life. So, anyway, without spoiling it, it was fantastic. You should go read it. Another one that I tried to read was Pineapple Street. And I know that was a bestseller too, but it just didn't captivate me. I read, I don't know how much I read, but I read like a good few chapters in and I just couldn't get into it. So maybe I'll come back to it because people have said great things, but that just was one that I could not get into. And there are so many other ones that I am eager to read and listen to. So I didn't go all in. But if you all want to pitch your case of why you think it's great and why I should continue on, let me know. And then I move on to my nonfiction because I do have the Whole Wellness Mama Summit coming up, which I'm putting on, and I'm invited. I have 18 different talks, speakers, experts that are coming in on the wellness for moms field. And we are launching that next week. So if you have not joined my summit, it is totally free. You get to listen in wherever you want to, and you win prizes if you get actiony, you take action and all that. So we want to reward you for that. But it's going to be fantastic. But I finished Middle School Matters by Phyllis Fagel. So if you have a middle school or a future middle schooler, it is fantastic information to know this is the biggest growth period in kids since the 0 to 2 phase. So there's a lot going on. And if we've all been through middle school, right? There's just a lot of changes. And how can we not dread that period, but help our kids thrive and help ourselves be prepared to um, interact, encourage, and care for our middle schooler who is changing in different ways. And so it was a fantastic read, and I loved our conversation that you'll be hearing in the summit. So excited for that. Finished that one. It was great, great information because I do have a kid that is in that age range. I can't believe it. And then the other one that I started reading was another expert of mine that is going to be joining me, Stephanie Pinto. She has a book, Calming the Chaos. Is that what it's called? There's a lot of calm and chaos books out there. I think it's called Calming the Chaos. Let me find it. But um, great book about emotional intelligence. And one of the questions that stuck with me is, what are you valuing as a parent? Are you valuing the IQ part, which is the academics, the straight A's, the achievements? Or are you going for the EQ, which is being a decent person, someone that is compassionate, someone that is caring, someone that looks out for other people? And how can we balance that? Because we know we want both for our children, but if we are stressing the IQ part of it, and yet we know that we value EQ, how are we blending those together? So it's a great book talking about even what is emotional intelligence, because whether you know it or not, everybody values those people that have emotional intelligence because they are more pleasant to be around. They notice things. They ask questions. They ask about you. So we want our kids to be those kids. And for our kids to be that, we need to be emotionally intelligent parents. So no pressure. Anyway, another great book. I also started, I did a lot of things this week, right? But another one that I started was How We Sleep. I can't remember. It's a sleep book. If you want the titles, let me know. I will get them to you. But it is by, I want to say Matthew Walker. Matthew Walker. I think that's his name. Um, I only just started it, but basically, you need to sleep, people, because sleep and this light is crazy. But because sleep, if you don't get it, you're killing yourself. And sleep is magnificent, is what I've gotten so far and what I've known. And I'm trying to put this habit in of going to sleep earlier, waking up earlier. However, kind of ironic that I was staying up too late listening to how much I need to sleep. So I will try and do better. I probably shouldn't start reading before bed because I have noticed that about myself. I get caught up and all of a sudden it is 11:30 midnight, and that was not the time that I planned to go to bed. So maybe I need to work in reading at a different time. Maybe when I wake up early, I read for a while before I need to get up and get ready for work or whatever. And that at least has a determined amount of time that I can do it. I'd love to hear what you all do. What is your reading routine so that you don't just go crazy and say one more chapter, because we know it all happens. Oh, the other one is I got the Six of Crows CD audiobook from the library. And that one, the story I am into, the audiobook. Um, I don't know if you all have heard the audiobook. I've heard so many good narrators and audiobooks that this one is just harder um, to get into. Oh, I should play it for you because I got my old CD box out and it works. I just can't speed it up. I have a 2xer on most, unless the narrator speaks fast already, but it is slow. It is slow, but I listen to it while I'm doing other things. Like when I was preparing for the summit, I would play it while I was like typing up emails or while I was putting graphics together, things like that. And it was fine. Um, hope I might have missed some things because I'm doing multitasking, but it's slow and the people's voices. I know, I'm sorry, I shouldn't criticize because everybody's doing their best job, but we have to admit that there are better narrators and there are less better narrators. And I've read some good ones, or I've listened to some good ones, including the Raven Hood trilogy. I come back to that. So good. Even though there's the whole scandal with Joe Arden, I like. Ugh, I don't know. This is going to be a question that I'm asking people. Do you double think getting a audiobook because you know the person in it? Mainly here, I'm talking about Joe Arden, but there, I'm sure, are other people in the past that I just haven't been familiar with that have these controversies around them, and you don't want to support them, but you still want to support the author. You still want to listen to the book because you know it's a good book or you've heard it's a good book. Anyway, would love to hear your thoughts on what you think through that and why. Um, we love reading. Yeah, hi Bree, hi Bree. We do. It's true. It's true. But so Bree was saying we shouldn't punish the author, and I absolutely agree. I think I just think about it because he was fabulous in Butcher and Blackbird too. He is so talented, and yet, yeah. Why do you have to taint it? Is my feeling behind it. Um, because great story, great author, great everything, and then yeah, the people behind it. Anyway, I'm getting a knock at the door. Why is What's it? I got a groan for my kid. Anyway, um, yes, I agree that having the authors re-record costs them money too. I know it's a huge thing, and I don't expect them to do it. It's just one of those things that I'm going, people, people just ruining it for other people, right? Um, yeah, yeah. What else? What else is happening this week? I need to plan out what I am going to read. Although this week, because of the summit happening and because of a number of other things with kid stuff that is happening, probably won't read as much, or so I say. And then I stay up until midnight, and then the sleep guide tells me that I should be sleeping. So, um, how do you say summer? Natsu. Natsu is summer in Japanese. Oh yeah, I did just tell him, give me a few minutes in Japanese, huh? What else is on for this week? Um, I'm just really excited for the new booktube that I have up. Like I said, there are several things that I have planned, and um, I know TikTok is trying to get to longer videos as well and horizontal. So if you start seeing horizontal, longer videos, I might experiment with having it in both places. So would love to hear your feedback on anything that I start making as far as long form content. I also need to focus and prioritize and figure out where I want to go with all of this. But I'm really excited because there are things that I love to share about kid stuff. Um, I think I already made this video, but I need to go edit it. But Project Cornerstone is a program in our area. It's specific to the Bay Area, I think, through the YMCA, but it is a program where volunteers, like parents like me, go into classrooms and read a book like I think I posted one, but it was The Invisible Boy. But there's different books that are emotional intelligence types of books, like Clovis Keeps Is Cool, I Wish You Knew, The Invisible Boy. Anyway, all these things. And then you lead a discussion activity and stuff like that. And I'm wondering if people have that in your areas too, of something where there's an organized program that works with schools to get that kind of learning into kids' hands, not just the academics, but also making it a little more well rounded. Or maybe it's a problem in the Silicon Valley where we just focus on all the academics and would like to give our kids more than that. Um, oh, that is so cool, Bree. Oh, she has soldiers come out read to classes every few weeks. That is so cool. Yeah, so maybe there's just like other programs around the country. And I'm glad people are thinking about this, right? Because I do think that our kids need more than just the regular studies. And I have really enjoyed being part of that. We go in once a month and do this reading, and the program is all laid out for us. And I think it's a 3-year cycle. So every year there's 6 sets of books that are read and encouraged and all of that. And it's been fabulous discussion. Great way to know more kids in my kids' classrooms. And for us, it's actually the only way to go into the classroom at the moment and interact with the class itself. Although I guess there's field trips and things like that, but much less capacity. Um, anyway, it's been fabulous for myself to learn also on some of these things and how to talk to kids about these things, some of the harder things. There's some pretty heavy stuff. Even in a picture book, you can pull out a ton of stuff. And I love that authors have done this so that it makes it easier for us parents to talk to our kids in um, a way that they can understand. Because there are some heavy things, and our kids are smarter than we give them credit for. They can understand these heavy things. We can start talking about these things, and um, I love it. This is also why I started the summit. I'm coming back to the summit because I think we just need to be equipped as parents and get more information and have tangible action steps on not being overwhelmed and understand that we're all going through these things, have these thoughts, and we just want to be more prepared. And books are a huge part of that. Um, that is so neat. That is so neat. Oh, I love it. It's a win-win, right? If um, soldiers get credit for volunteering and they're coming in, helping kids, kids are getting exposure to different people, different experiences, different stories. I just love that. I just love, love, love that. I hope there's more things that I hear about because I love hearing these stories of ways in which we are impacting the future generation. And that is also why I have so many recommendations on kids stuff. It is coming. It is coming. And I've talked about doing like a kids blind date with a book too. I haven't gotten there yet on how to physically do that, but I know I've gotten a lot of interest, and I think it is fantastic for kids to get book mail, something to look forward to. My kids loved the book mail that they got, and that is still open too. I am thinking at this point, I think I'm going to start the book spotlight of the week, book bestie of the week, whatever it might be. I haven't gotten to the point that I wanted to yet as far as number of entries, but maybe we just go in faith and start it. And I hope that people get showered with love and care and all of that. Maybe I will start it in a week, maybe next Saturday. I'm going to make a post about this. Next Saturday, I'm going to pick the first person, and I think I'll pick it here. So maybe I'll start that every Saturday. I will pick the next person. I'm going to think through that a little bit more, and then I'll come back to it. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is Onyx Storm. I have been thinking a lot, and I'm not going to do all my info dump here because I started doing some research on what does Onyx mean? What does Storm mean? What can Rebecca be doing? And I think there's a lot of different ways that it can go, but I've been doing a lot of thinking, trying to piece things together, um, trying not to listen to other people and different theories. But I think that's going to have to be a longer video, either, like I said, the long form video or whatever. But look out for that. Make sure to find me on my booktube because I'll definitely put it there. I'll definitely be here too. So follow me just both places so that you're good to go. um, I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. It could all be wrong because Rebecca does that to us. I just hope she doesn't take out Riddick because he's the humor. He's great. Although Sawyer's great. There's so many great characters that I know I'm going to be gutted in this book. I just hope we don't have whiny Violet because that was not my favorite. And the other question is what kind of cliffhanger are we going to be left on? Because we know it's going to be a cliffhanger given the last two. We know there's going to be a gut wrenching because, yeah, yeah, just expect that. Um, I think there's going to be a lot more history on Andarna and the dragons and what happened before. Um, it's going to be good. It's going to be good, but we got to wait until January. So there's a lot of theorizing to do, and I'm trying to let it go because there's still a lot of time, but it is coming and I want to talk about it. So just be prepared. Maybe I'll get that out this week. All right. Happy Saturday, friends. I'm going to go figure out what my children wanted. If I can figure out how to end this.